What makes a Pokemon good? You would be surprised to know that the answer isn't as clear as you'd think. If you were to say base stats is what makes a Pokemon good, I'd point to Pokemon such as Slaking and Regigigas, which have base stats on the same level as some boxed legendaries, but are held back by their terrible abilities. If you said abilities are what makes a Pokemon good, then I'd point to the many Pokemon that have very poor base stats, but great abilities. There is no complete clear-cut answer, but today we'll be talking about Pokemon with base stats on the low end that have abilities that make them useful. I'll be talking about Pokemon in the context of VGC or competitive doubles. To start with, I think it's only right that I start with a Pokemon that would surprise many to know won a very recent regional, and that is Elomise. Even at a top level of competitive Pokemon, this weak-looking bug type managed to overcome all the obstacles in its way and win a championship. A large part of that is its ability Prankster, which allows it to use status moves with an increased level of priority. Going first is very important in Pokemon. This allows Elomise to take advantage of the move Tailwind to double its partner's speed stat, while also offering support in the way of Fake Tears and Encore. This would not be possible without the ability Prankster, and because of this, it is a viable choice in today's game. Next up is a small, unassuming fairy-type Pokemon, Clefairy. Its base stats aren't necessarily good, but its typing, the fact it can take advantage of the Eviolite item, paired with its incredible ability Friend Guard, makes it a menace to face off against. Friend Guard is simply one of the best abilities in competitive Pokemon, as it results in an ally Pokemon taking 3/4 damage from attacks. This ability enables Pokemon who would otherwise be considered fragile to take unexpected attacks while still being able to dish out massive amounts of damage. It is one of the best support Pokemon ever created, and at the time of making this video, even managed to grab second place in the latest regional championships. Azumarill doesn't typically install fear into the hearts of Pokemon fans, especially with it being a very likable, cute Pokemon. That is, unless you are a competitive Pokemon player who sees it for the monster that it is. Azumarill's stats aren't all that impressive other than its 100 base HP stat. Its ability certainly makes up for it though, as it has the ability Huge Power, which doubles its attack stat. This Pokemon goes from something that you may see at a petting zoo to an MMA fighter with this ability, as with an adamant nature, it can cap out at 224, which is higher than even max attack adamant Groudon. In rain, this Pokemon is a force to be reckoned with, and even saw a good amount of play throughout the 2023 season. Are you a fan of bugs? And I'm not talking about the typing. I'm sure that many people just said no, just like me. Well, let me introduce you to the friendliest bug of all time in doubles, Charjabug. Why is this Pokemon so friendly? Its unique ability Battery multiplies all ally Pokemon special attacks by 1.3 times, pretty much giving everyone a Life Orb boost. How nice. But maybe not for the opponent, who has to stare down the powerful special attackers that like to sit next to this Pokemon. Charjabug itself isn't too threatening, but whenever it's legal, someone will always be trying it out. Last, but certainly not least, is a Pokemon that tends to show up at the door whenever a restricted format is in town. Ditto is like the debt collector of Pokemon. It waits around for years until all legendary Pokemon are allowed to be played with, and then comes back ready to collect its cash. This is due to its incredibly cool ability Imposter, which transforms it into the Pokemon that it's facing. This isn't a great ability when all Pokemon around have the same base stats, but when legendary Pokemon are released, if you get it onto the field and copying a legend, it's like having a third legendary on your team as opposed to the normal two. This influx in base stats always has someone giving Ditto a shot at the highest level every 3 years. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe for more fun Pokemon content, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.